So meta viability is a big talking point in Dokkan Battle. This is essentially something that comes across in every single game that you can play these days. People want to know what the best things are. People want to know what to spend money on, especially in the case of Gacha, where if you are someone who asks, why do we need tier lists? Need quotation marks. Why do people care? It's mostly because Gacha isn't just you purchase a game for $60, $70, whatever, and then you get everything and you can just do whatever the fuck you want with your money. The issue with Gacha is that you are always paying a price for the characters you pull on and the potential of pulling those characters, right? And I would like to know, how do you feel about tier lists in this community? I personally feel as though there's just a little bit too much reliance on tier lists, as in, I feel like people in Dokkan don't understand the purpose of a tier list. They just kind of understand that, they're mad at Truth, or they're mad at Alan for tweet baiting, and they use it more as a bargaining chip on Twitter rather than just like an assessment of like how good characters will be, right? So why am I bringing this up? I saw this post on the Dokkan Battle Reddit, and I figured because I use a lot of Twitter for the talking points I get, I figured I'd hop over to Reddit, see how they're doing. And this person asks, as a new player, and I cover a lot of new player queries on here. As a new player, I'm curious how much of the game is playable using suboptimal meta characters. Can I play using my favorites, or am I keeping myself from most of the necessary content to advance? There's such a rich array of options, and it seems like the ones I want to use aren't all on top lists, don't have LRs or easy A's. My favorites are the Boos, Caulifla, Kale, and Kefla. This person is a fan of Universe 6, which is, respectable, but as we can see here, this is a barren wasteland, right? The biggest one I would talk about is this Easy A Kefla. But what do I always say? Kefla could come out tomorrow and Kefla will hit top grossing. I don't know why they won't do Kefla. I don't know what is being said to them. I don't know if it's a rights issue. I have no idea. But if you're wondering who gets the most art in Dragon Ball, it's probably like Goku, Vegeta, Gogeta, and this character. Because I mean you know why, but I won't go into that. There are some clips of Truth describing his love of Kefla, is all I'll say. But they don't seem to have LR Easy A's. But by no means do I mean to limit myself to those. Sorry if this is an over-asked question. Thank you for any responses. Are there any must-haves or absolute avoids? Don't want to waste resources on a proven trap. See, this is what I was talking about. It's not that Gacha or PvE or PvP disconnect from meta entirely. Even if you're like, it's a PvE game, pull on what you want. I just pulled on the Cell, who is okay. People are overhating him. People are overrating him. He's just okay. I knew he was okay going into it. I just love Cell, right? He's my favorite character or favorite antagonist in the series. It is what it is. People are going to pull on for what they want, but I pull on someone like Cell knowing that I have essentially wasted my currency, my in-game currency, on a character who might get aged out in a few months, right? Who might, and we'll talk about what that means later, but I spent that currency, that in-game currency, on a character who is now taking up the potential pulls of another character I could have pulled on who might have been more useful to me if I'm having a tough time getting over an event. Huge thank you to all the honest, kind, and helpful responses. It goes a long way for a new player. And let me open up my tier list and we'll sort of talk about like why this exists. So here was my rough estimate of how I was feeling about characters in the Dragon Ball meta at around the time of the 10th anniversary ending. There aren't all the new characters here. Kid Goku's not here. Cell's not here. Vegeta's not, the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta's not here. This is not updated. I haven't looked at this since I made it, essentially. But why did I make it? I made it so that when you are a new player, when you're a returning player, and you just need to know what banners are worth your currency, what your in-game money, right? Because if you're free to play, if you're low spending, you can't just pull on everything, right? I'll just keep bringing it up. I say it every time. I buy the like $8 to $10 subscription for Dokkan. I think that's about as much as anyone should spend on a gacha realistically. I get that sometimes there are packs that people want, but not really for me. That there hasn't been many times outside of anything where, even for like Epic 7, which was my main game for a very long time, I've spent more than like the subscription fee, which are the most value proposition packs in all of Gacha gaming. Essentially, the subscription fee is usually very valuable, and everything else is very overpriced for whales. So when I put this up here, when I think about why I'm making a list like this, it's not to go on Twitter and win arguments. I don't give a fuck what other people think of like this list, like objectively. Like I really don't care to argue what's here. I'll explain what's here, but I don't care to argue. I just want people to know when they look at this list that, hey, I feel like I might. Also, this list was pre-festival battles. Just to clarify, by the way. But I just look at this as, hey, I am a new player coming to the game, and if Tech Vegito is on a banner and AGL Gogeta, God willing, is on a banner at the same time, and then let's say this Vegeta was on that same banner and Beast was on that banner, I mean, that's a lot of value. Even if you miss one of them, there's just so much value on that banner. It's all this matters. It's all it matters for. So yeah, going back to this person's original point, which is, can you clear? Yeah, yeah. Can you clear with a Kefla on your team still? You can clear with this Kefla on your team. Maybe she'll struggle versus the actual. She'll struggle versus the harder content that has like dodge canceling, but could she theoretically like clear a lot of current hard events? Yeah, of course she could. These are not events that are designed to be impossible. They're designed to be beaten, right? So let's just see what people are feeling, and we'll wrap this one up. But I just wanted to talk about this point because I feel like it's sort of lost a lot of times, like what the point of a tier list actually is when it's not a game that is competitive. You'll see people, I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter, you'll see people make tier lists for the weapons in Monster Hunter as if it matters at all. The only competitive thing you can do in Monster Hunter is speedrun, because the game is designed to be beaten. Just like Dokkan is designed to be beaten. Just like Elden Ring and Dark Souls games are designed to be beaten. They're designed to give you a sensation of overcoming difficulty. They're not designed to gatekeep you. If you want to play something that's designed to beat you, play Be the Boss or some shit. It's just game design. But a good majority of the game can be done by numerous teams with various units being used on each, including the newer red zones. The festival is the only stage I would say that doesn't have that much flexibility in terms of units that can beat it, and that's actually why I had this open. So if you are someone who's very new and you don't maybe understand why like this is the case, it's because every single Festival of Battle team, and it's why I cannot stand watching any Festival of Battle showcases. They're just so boring. Is because you look at the screen and you go, this character goes on the team, this character goes on the team, this character goes on the team. Let's see, let's LRs, and let's sort by physical. This character goes on the team, this character goes on the team, and then someone like Truth or something will be like, we're gonna test out a character today, you guys. We're gonna really stretch the bounds of our imagination, and then you just throw this like character at the end, and you're like, wow, what a showcase, man. What a showcase stage, right? Like, but who's actually like playing here? Who's the character that's actually like showcased here? The character that's actually being showcased is this guy. This is actually the character who matters the most. So that is kind of the issue with like the Festival of Battles. It's like a showcase stage. It's so boring. Every Festival of Battles showcase is so boring. The only meta is really a team that can beat a specific mission on a red zone stage. For example, for 5 stones. Otherwise, you can run whatever. Yeah, there's not really much of a big meta in Dokkan, right? Like, because Dokkan's sort of touted as like a team game, but it's kind of not. It's not really a team building exercise. One of the best versions of this was Int Broly's team, right? Because then you could have things like, it got really wide, like, there was, I'm under LRs. It got really wide, stuff like this, right? Looks so good. If he had stayed good, characters like this guy came in, this guy was fine. We have a Vegeta unit here. The Tech Broly. Cell Max, just so many options. And this is kind of where like team building actually matters. And the best thing about the team building here is that a lot of these characters are flawed, and people don't understand why that's important. I think in Dokkan, one of the biggest gripes I have with Dokkan as a community is that the community kind of does it. They kind of are a type of person that wants to win like an argument, but they don't want the game to be better. They just want to win the argument about the game, and I don't really care about that. I said earlier, I don't really care if you argue my tier list. It's not there to win an argument. It's there to tell you what it is. But yeah, so stuff like this is really cool in team building, but that is a very rare thing in Dokkan. A lot of times you don't have 14 characters who are all contributing to a win. You have a team of 6 characters, and really, like, Vegeta is so strong right now that no team with Vegito is about the other characters. It's just kind of Vegito winning. So yeah, as far as team building goes, you can run whatever, but the thing is you won't feel as good when your character that you're trying to run doesn't actually contribute, right? 99% of the game can be beaten with whatever team you prefer. People here only focus on the newest, hardest fights only. It's true, we run them over and over. The issue with this is because Dokkan, you look at other gacha games, Epic 7, Honkai, etc. Honkai has the simulated universe, which changes the teams up. It changes your characters. You're drafting like a roguelite. You're getting all these new power-ups and stuff. You look at Epic 7, you have the raid. And Epic 7 is not even like a PvE-focused game. It's a game with PvE, but is a PvP game. You're meant to draft characters and fight each other. But even then, Epic 7's PvE is much better than Dokkan's, right? Because it actually has like boss characters with real mechanics and different mechanics, and you need anti-heal, you need burns sometimes, you need to get certain debuffs on them or they won't take much damage. Things that Dokkan has never done and will never do. So when people say like because they only focus on the newest hardest fight, is because Dokkan doesn't make particularly engaging fights. They just number creep, right? But again, people hear that and they go, well, Dokkan's always been like that. Dokkan, characters always are power crept on the anniversary. It was the same way with Beast, but it's like you're just sticking your head in your sand because you want to win like a Twitter argument instead of like actually listening. No one cares if things are done one way for 10 years. If Dokkan wants to go another 10 years, they should, continue to innovate. Right now, I would not describe Dokkan as a game that innovates on Dragon Ball at all. Same with Dragon Ball Legends, but we'll see how that goes when they release their 2.0. So, hardest fight in the game basically forces you to use the best units in the game because it's just that tough. There's like 5 units that are hard lock onto that team and 1 flex slot. That's what I was talking about, actually. That's just one fight of a dozen, yeah. So, basically, and this is just like a capstone, you can use whoever you want, really. The issue with Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle is that once the team starts looking like this, and obviously, there you go here, then you go here. Once the team starts looking like this, and then like you're someone who's like, yeah, my new team that I designed is so cool. Look how good, Path to Power Kid Goku is. It's like, is Path to Power Kid Goku doing anything? To go back to this person's point, if I go like, yeah, man, Super Saiyan Kefla's so good. Yeah? Super Saiyan Kefla's doing something here? Easy Kefla, she's contributing here? You could run her and get her through the event, but the thing people mean when they say, is someone viable, is will they feel good to run? When you run them, will it look like they're actually contributing to the game? Are they contributing to the run, or are they just a piece being carried? All that being said, like if you like the video, subscribe to the club. We all gonna make it, and peace.